gray goatees, and a whistle. I'm your host, Coach Huddy, and I'm joined once again by the coach's wife, Amanda.
Hello.
And so in this episode, we are going to be talking about scandals,
Ooh.
sports scandals, because, we're our sports podcast. So it's going to be kind of interesting. So the way this is set up is I'm going to list what ChatGPT said were the top 10 most controversial sports. Okay. Controversies, events. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what we'll do is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell each one. I'll say what it is. I'll give the little background and just you're spontaneously from 10 being absolute travesty to one being like, meh. Some of these are kind of like, some of them will be kind of serious. Like we want it lighthearted, but again, there's probably going to be, there's definitely one that's going to be kind of a sensitive topic. Okay.
Okay.
Say so just to let you know.
Now I'm nervous.
So don't have to worry about it. Other things we got going on. We got to get quizzed again. Okay. The coach's wife is going to try to stump me.
Yeah, we went obscure this time.
We're going to obscure
Going
which,
down.
man, I'm screwed. And then,
I tried not to go too outrageous.
and then we'll finish up with our mascot of the week. So we'll go ahead and get started here. All right. Deep down in the backgrounds of these top 10 sports controversies. Number one, I'm going to bring up is the 1919 Black Sox scandal.
Okay.
Tell me what you know about it. Do you know anything about it?
The Black Sox?
It's called the Blacks. It was the Chicago White Sox, but it got called the Black Sox scandal.
Okay. Was it the one where you had the movie 8 Men Out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes. So there was supposedly the game was thrown.
Yeah, they're in a World Series.
They all got banned from the sport.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
I do know.
Okay. So all right. So that's one of them. So a little bit more. There was the White Sox were heavily favored to win the World Series, but 8 players conspired with gamblers to intentionally lose in exchange for money. Although they were acquitted in court, they were banned from baseball for life. And what came out of this was fans' trust in sports and mainly in baseball because this came to light for the first time and that all of a sudden you put the integrity of the game in there. Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So you get cultural paranoia, fixing of games. This is also the birth of the commissioner systems. Baseball didn't have a commissioner before. So commissioners usually the ones that are kind of in control, whatever sport they're doing. Football has one, basketball has one. And baseball started this to try to be an independent entity to try to not be swayed by teams, but kind of set rules and guidelines.
Okay.
And kind of be the head
so
of the
like
rule
somebody who comes in and says, this is your handbook. This is.
Yeah. They kind of are the overseers.
These are what we're going to be
league.
okay with, what we're not going to be okay with. And
yeah. I mean, there's a rule committee and all that stuff, but they're ultimately the ones that can, put things together, whether or not what's legit and what's not legit.
Okay.
So anytime something comes up controversial or something that might not seem right, the commissioner's office usually steps in to kind of put a ruling in there. That's kind of the point of it.
Like an impartial type.
Yeah. It's supposed to be an independent. Okay. Yeah. The owners basically, they're the ones that put the person there. So it doesn't necessarily.
Well, it's not very impartial.
But that's why you got players unions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. So if you had to rank it, all right, you had to rate this from 10 being an absolute horrible thing.
The event that it happened or the event that they were banned from baseball?
Just how do you think in the world of sports in general, how awful do you think this was?
Okay. So
on a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. Growing up, my dad was huge baseball. Well, yeah. He was always a huge baseball fan. We watched, that was like the only rated R movies we ever got to watch were baseball related because he was just like, we're going to watch this. And so, I do remember watching the movie as a kid. And I do remember thinking how horrible it would be to make a mistake and lose out on something you loved for the rest of your life.
Right.
However, looking at news today, with the Trailblazers coach and all this stuff that's going on in the news today and seeing how that's unfolding. And yeah, there's a lot to come for that. But I think as far as the event. I think it's horrible. I think it destroys the sanctity of the sport. So on that level, I'd maybe make it like an 8 or an 8.5. But as far as the fact that they were found to be not guilty in a court of law and still had lost that entirety of it, maybe
Yeah, they were banned, period.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's horrible. So maybe a 9.5 on their side of it, but maybe an 8.5 on the event itself.
You're putting a decimal, stupid math teacher. So
Well,
what do you want?
I mean, I don't think it's a complete 10. Nobody died.
No.
And the sport went on.
What do you
and
think?
hopefully people
So
learn
are
from
you
it.
saying
Let's go 9.
Go 9?
Solid 9.
Solid 9. All right. Okay. All right, good. All
I
right.
think it was horrible. Again, nobody died. The sport went on.
Yep.
Your heart does go out to the people involved, but it also goes out to the sanctity of the sport. So that's why I'm going to give it a 9.
Okay. All right.
Does that make sense?
That's perfect sense. Yeah, no, it's good sense. Good sense. All right. Okay. So that's our first one. Should I tell you now my score, what I scored it, or
Sure. Go ahead.
I gave it a 9.
Yeah,
I
we've been married too long.
my logic behind it is that it tainted the game, and you brought up what's going on recently with one of the basketball players, and there's other people involved in
Coaches involved, and
and the whole gambling thing is it's crazy because now it's okay to gamble on sports. So
yeah, and it has been for
it has
quite a while,
but it was pretty restricted. Like you basically either had to go to Nevada, Atlantic
like
City,
a gambling hall,
is a place. Now you can do online betting, and it's created, I think, a whole other issue.
But I don't think that came about because of that.
No, it didn't. But I also, because with the whole Trailblazer thing, I think a lot of it has to do with it was like poker games and stuff, not necessarily the online gambling.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're tagged with gambling, it brings up that question. Okay, did you do something in your game?
Are you messing with the purity of this game?
Yeah. And
yeah. And I think that's why I said
out
9.
of these top 10, there's going to be more than one of these that we talk about.
Okay.
So, again, we'll kind of get into kind of talk about a little bit more. So, number 2, something that you'll know because one of your dad's favorite ball players is involved in this. Can you take a guess? Steroid era of baseball from the 90s and 2000s.
Yes.
So, Barry Bonds, your dad was a huge Giants fan. So, Barry Bonds was everything. Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa broke home run records while using performance-enhancing drugs. The era boosted popularity after the 1994 strike, but later congressional hearings and suspensions stained accomplishments that put Hall of Fame legacy in question.
Okay.
So I remember
he wasn't removed though, right?
No. So here's the thing that came with that baseball really wasn't regulating steroids. That really wasn't a thing. I think that was steroids in football, obviously, and stuff like that. But in baseball, really wasn't being regulated like it should, because there's a lot of players that were doing it. And it was funny because you looked at Barry Bonds.
Well, I remember them talking. I remember it being something that was, it was in the news and it was kind of a big deal. And I do remember thinking to myself that 90% of them are probably doing this.
And I don't know how many were doing it, but I know there was more. But there was quite a few.
Just because they got a record out of it, I don't know, a 7.
A 7?
I think really because it does, again, mess with the integrity of the sport.
Okay.
It's like and I guess it's personal integrity. It's like, how do you hold your head up and say, yeah, I got that record when you were using enhancers? What would you have been without them? Were you the same person? And how would you know? So how do you hold your head up high?
Well,
so it's more of a personal thing to me.
I remember, Barry Bonds when he first started out with the Pirates, and he didn't look anything like he did.
Well, and that's the thing. It's just like
some of these guys all of a sudden, and it wasn't just him. There was a lot of baseball players. I was looking at their young, their earlier
when
days.
They started.
They're a little scrawny or a little thinner.
Baseball players start pretty young though.
They do.
So that's
they do.
Not a possible thing.
Within 3 years, they're looking like they should be the starting linebacker for an NFL team.
Sports.
You're kind of like, hey, Mark McGwire, in his credit, he was already a big guy. He was, and Sammy Sosa, he looked like he had, and then there was other players. I remember Brett Boone. I remember him. He looked he looked completely different.
I know that there are athletes who, or just people who are into that kind of stuff, who have legit gone to the gym and done everything, and
Yes.
they might drink protein shakes or whatever they're doing, but it's all completely natural. There's no enhancers. There's no,
Yeah.
and they do that, and they're amazing.
Right.
But it comes back to the integrity of it.
Yeah.
Of how do you hold your head up? How are you proud that your name's in the Hall of Fame when you weren't doing this naturally?
Right.
And yes, you can argue the point of, well, everybody else was doing it, but it's still an integrity thing to me.
So for me,
but it's probably a 7 because the baseball should have been more on that.
No, yeah, I don't put all the blame on the players. I put it.
No,
I had it at a 5, and so I was like, I think it was important,
6,
but yeah, you said 7, so we'll say so. So
yeah.
I for me, it was a one of these situations where it was okay. They still got to hit the ball regardless, but then on the other hand, I'm going. They still have to. It's not just the power that they could be adding to it; it's the recovery time and all this stuff that sometimes enhancing drugs will do.
Well, and you and I have been around baseball and softball enough to know that the smallest person can hit dingers. It has to do with contact and technique.
Yeah.
But it's like, where is your self? Like,
exactly. Oh,
come
no.
on.
Yeah. All right, moving on to the next one. So that we each voted that one. You gave it 7, I gave it 5.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Lance Armstrong's doping controversy.
Okay, I know a little bit about him, but I don't know a lot about that side of it.
Okay, so Lance Armstrong, cyclist, Tour de France titles. He won 7 of them, 7 titles. The big thing with him was that he was a cancer survivor.
Yeah, he had testicular cancer.
And he
let that be a warning. Don't ride bikes. No.
Yeah. Tidy.
Those little tiny shorts and the
shorts.
Narrow bike seats.
Give those boys some breathing room.
Just kidding.
So,
there's nothing to do with it.
Yes. No. Made it more streamlined. So, anyways, he was stripped of all his victories after there was a doping cover up that was uncovered by the USADA, and he admitted the wrongful doing in 2013 on national television.
What was he taking?
Some kind of performance enhancing.
And this was after
he
everything.
Well,
had he already won before, or this was when he during his winning years?
During his winning years, he apparently was doing it. So he was. This is a guy who was looked at as a hero or somebody to look up to because this is somebody who beat cancer and was.
And I remember more about that than I remember about the enhancers.
So he did all that. I remember him. What was it? Dodgeball. He was in Dodgeball. He had a scene in Dodgeball where he was at the airport, and the main character is the main character in Dodgeball. I can't think of his name right now.
The guy that ran Average Joe's.
Yes, Average Joe's gym. Oh, God, it's gonna bug me. Anyways, when he
if you could dodge a wrench, you can dodge a bullet.
Right. I can think of Rip Torn, but I can't think of Vince Vaughn. So Vince Vaughn's character, when Vince Vaughn was in the airport and he's getting ready to leave, and he sits at the restaurant. Lance Armstrong's the one there, and he's talking about, boy, if I would have let cancer beat me, and I would have won the 7 blah blah blah. All these.
Oh yes. So, when he was going to walk away.
So this is obviously before the controversy happened, and then after that, this came out, and so all of that, it kind of destroyed him. So based on that controversy, we're looking at a hero falling from grace, medical ethics, elite pressure, large doping scandal in cycle history. That was the impact. His foundation was destroyed. So all this foundation that he did was basically, he lost that foundation. So what he did, I think, indirectly impacted a lot of things, especially cancer research.
Okay, but how many NFL players or professional athletes go out there and raise millions of dollars for these good causes and then go home and beat their wives or
that's a
dog fighting rings or like
we know that. Well, this depends.
That just because you're doing good somewhere else doesn't make you a good person.
That's a good point. But
I'm not.
If you had to rank it, well, I mean, get on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Lance Armstrong's doping scandal?
I would say a 6.
Okay, I had a 5 as well. Okay. Still, I think it was. I mean,
it's an ethical thing.
It's an ethical thing.
Do stuff like that.
Yeah, and
and walk around like you're God's gift to bicyclists, or
and find out
whatever
that
you're
you
doing.
were doing
Find out that
stuff
you were
that
doing stuff that is
enhanced you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where's your? It
Yep.
falls back to that ethics of
Yep. All right, moving on. Number 4, another baseball one. Pete Rose betting on baseball. So Pete Rose, when I was a kid, he was kind of at the tail end of his career. He was actually the tail end of his career. He was actually a player manager. He was the coach of the team, and
when
he was
he
playing
did this, or he was a
when he was
player.
doing this.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's when he was doing it.
Or when he got caught, anyways.
When he got caught. He was Major League's all-time hitter. Okay. Guy knew how to hit a ball. Okay. And played with the Cincinnati Reds. Was a great baseball player. He was banned for life 1989 for betting on games while managing the Cincinnati Reds. Rose denied it for decades before eventually admitting to gambling, but not to throw games. So he said he did bet, but he wasn't doing it to throw games. So a little bit different than throwing games. He was still betting on baseball games, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's kind of one of those double-edged swords. If you're going to allow gambling and stuff, then you are going to allow people to be people.
Right.
And if you are one of those people that enjoy the high of gambling, and you know a lot about something, wouldn't it be something you would gamble about?
yes.
Does that make sense? Like if I know a lot about something and I know the statistics and the players, and I know a deeper side to something, if I'm going to go gamble on something, I'm going to gamble on something that's a more sure bet to me.
True, but being somebody who's in a profession like that,
I'm not disagreeing, but he was not a player
he was right.
when he got caught.
Coach, player, whatever. The thing is that once you are in that profession,
I agree.
and I think this was well established rules because of the 1919 controversy, that you just absolutely didn't bet. And it'd be one thing if you're with some friends and I don't know, because that can lead to bigger issues too. But people have bets like on other games, right? Or when you do the numbered box scoring or whatever for the Super Bowl, and everybody gets random numbers. Well, they put a number. We did it in the mill. Remember, you had certain numbers. You had two teams. You had
so you were like,
10 digits.
Their score is going to end in this and this or whatever.
Whatever that score ended.
I wouldn't call that gambling.
It's still you're putting money.
I know, but I wouldn't call that
betting
on a sport outcome. I would call that. I think on average, the average team gets 3 touchdowns and 1 or 2 field goals. So generally, their score ends in a 5.
But you're not. But it's very.
You don't know who's saying.
But what I'm saying is that if you're putting money on something expecting to get, it's gambling. Now there's I think different levels of it.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Well, I think so. I mean, there's addiction, and then there's I am going here, so I'm going to take $30 with me and see what happens. You're nothing. It's neither here nor there.
Right. How would you score it? Pete Rose betting scandal.
I'm gonna say a 6, only because it was well established that that was a no-no. But he was not a coach, or he was not a player. I don't know. It's splitting hairs.
I put it at a 9, and the reason why I did it is because of the impact as a player who he was and what he did for the game, and what he was the hitting king. That's
but
something.
He wasn't a player at the time.
No, but he was like any other person would be in the Hall of Fame. But the fact that he gambled, it destroyed. He could never get in again.
That was his choice. That was his.
Right.
You are not free from the consequences of your choices. I don't care who you are.
And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I mean, I'm not saying whether he should be in or if there should have been so many years or whatever. And I know they have talked about, like, now that he's passed away, they're like, well, maybe not. We should. No. I'm like, really? So
stick with your decision.
But
because
when you have
people are watching this, kids are watching this.
When you have a record, a positive record, like hitting in a sport is a big stat, and that person's not in the Hall of Fame, I think it was a huge event. And so especially
you
for
made your bed.
But for me, it was a 9 because it was such a huge event.
I didn't know about the Hall of Fame thing, but it doesn't really matter. I'd give it a 6.
All right, moving on.
Because I don't know a whole lot about names.
Deflate gate. You're laughing. Okay, tell me what you know about Deflate gate.
I don't remember the team, but was it the Patriots?
It was the Patriots.
Patriots and who?
Well, it was just the Patriots in general.
I know, but who were they playing against? Because it was a big game. It was Super Bowl.
No, it was the AFC Championship game.
It was a championship
game. I don't know if it was Indianapolis.
Anyways,
or the
okay.
Raiders.
So what I know was in football, each team is control of their own balls.
Yep.
Okay. If ball switches hands, one ball comes off, the other one goes on. I also know that there are rules on PSI for inflation, like you can't tamper with the ball. There's certain rules because certain things give you advantage. And I also know that if a ball is underflated, you have better grip. Okay. So I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened exactly. I just remember it being a big deal.
Yeah. So the Patriots and Tom Brady were accused of underflating footballs to gain a competitive advantage in an AFC championship. After months of investigation, Brady was suspended for 4 games. The incident fueled a broader Patriots cheating culture. So Spygate got included in this, and they were saying there was other things that the Patriots were doing that weren't exactly up to par.
Okay.
Basically, we're looking at competitive vets versus cheating, and then the media just bouncing on it. Because a lot of times when this stuff comes out, it's in the off season and they have nothing else better to do. So they want to bring something up that's like to keep it relevant.
I get it.
So something that might seem kind of minor.
The media, you can't give them any pull.
They will blow it up. And so
whatever came of it.
He was suspended 4 games. I think Belichick.
Was he the only one that got in trouble?
No, I think the head coach, Belichick got in trouble. I think there was draft picks, but I don't know how much that came from Deflategate or the Spygate.
So
they did get punished.
Does the quarterback physically check the inflation of the ball?
Yeah, because they're in control of it. Because they outside of the center, they're always touching the ball.
Notice if it's not enough that you can physically, I mean, you're in the middle of one of the biggest games of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really sitting there going, man, this ball doesn't feel quite right?
It just depends. I mean,
unless it's like blatantly flat.
Well, yeah. And I don't know how much it was really. Okay. I don't know. I can't speak on this one because to me, I looked at it like
it seems like a lot more people should have been in trouble for that.
Well, they lost draft picks, so it wasn't anything. I mean, they did lose some draft picks. There was a punishment that was brought down. Yeah. There was suspensions on there that came about. They did get there was definitely like, I mean, you don't have your starting quarterback.
Why did it take so long to come out?
I don't think I think it was within like a year or 2 after it happened.
Who was sitting on it for that long?
I don't know. It was 2015 is when this happened. The Deflategate.
I'm going to say 5.
I had it as a 3. Here's my thing. It's like
cheating's cheating.
Cheating's cheating. And I agree with that. I think it's cheating, but I also look like, okay, really?
It took it a long time.
I don't think
come to head
necessarily deflating a ball makes that much of an impact. It's throwing it.
Well, somebody thought so.
Yeah, I know. I never thought it was that big of a deal. So you said a 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's one that's, I remember when I was younger.
So before I was born?
Nope, you were around, but you were pretty young when this happened. 1994 or the Olympics, Winter Olympics.
Okay.
Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan. Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan. Okay. In case anybody doesn't know, that's younger than us. Figure skater Tanya Harding's ex-husband orchestrated an attack on rival Nancy Kerrigan. The assault shocked the world and transformed
the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, and created a media circus. Kerrigan recovered to win silver, and Harding was brought down for life. I remember when this happened, and Tanya Harding was from Portland, that area. And so I
remember it going down, but
I remember like thinking, rooting for, because she was from Oregon. I was from Oregon, and she was local-ish. I was like, come on.
Again, that integrity thing. If you're not top dog, you're not top dog, dude. Try harder.
Right. Exactly. Well, it just.
That was a big thing. That's a world stage. That is big.
Yeah. So this happened. I think, I don't know if it happened during the Olympics.
You know how some things get joked about?
Yeah.
And you'll have like SNL skits or Mad TV skits or blah, blah, blah. There wasn't a lot of joking around about that.
No.
I mean, years and years later, it'll pop up every once in a while. But there was not a lot of, ha-ha, we're going to make fun of
Yeah.
this. It was messed up.
It was messed up. No, it's the fact you had such a
Complex.
that you had to physically hurt your competition.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, you guys are still on the same team, technically, Team USA, and you decided, nope, that bitch is going down. And that's really what happened. And so,
That's essentially, that's
yeah,
exactly what happened. That's a 9 all the way. I'm sorry.
There was a media. I remember it made a movie, books, documentaries.
Oh,
They did
yeah.
all kinds of stuff
It
on
did.
this. So for me, I gave it an 8
Okay.
because I thought it was, from, like I said, from my point of view, I was just out of high school, and and I remember it was somebody that's local going to the Winter Olympics, or not necessarily local. We're still like 4 hours, but an Oregon person going to the Winter Olympics. They're going to compete. And then all of a sudden, cuckoo, cuckoo, wow,
it's a whole other level.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing?
Exactly.
So
what'd you get?
I gave it a 9.
A 9? Yeah.
But I think more or less because, like you said, same team, Varva. Like, pull your head out of your rear end. You're doing the same dang thing for the same country, for the same reasoning, but you're on a world stage, man. Like, this isn't, USA sports. This isn't, European soccer. This is everybody and their dang dogs is there watching this.
Yep.
Like, come on. You're making us look real good.
All right. Moving on to another Olympic theme there, Russian Olympic doping program.
Okay.
So this is something that apparently had been going on for a long time. And was when Russia was the Soviet Union, and then it continued, and it's still supposedly an issue. It seems like constantly. And I know it's other countries have been caught, players have been caught. We know this happens, but Russia seems like they had an actual doping program where, especially women, like in bodybuilding and stuff like that, they were like juicing their girls, and the running joke was, these women were coming in with full-grown beards and peeing standing up, and then they're like lifting.
The guys look like they had nothing in their unitards, and the girls had
this back like in the 80s and stuff. This was a huge deal. Basically, you had a state-run program for cheating for their Olympic program, and the scandal led to banning. They stripped medals. Russia had to compete under a neutral flag.
You're making a conscious decision.
Yes, this was a conscious, as a country. It's like, we want to win so bad that we don't care if we're going to go juice up.
Well, and okay, but if you're in a physical hand-to-hand combat, you're boxing, you're wrestling, you can hurt somebody. That's not a rage thing or a whatever thing.
Yeah.
That's not a natural. That's nuts.
I mean, you got corruption, political agendas.
I'm going to put that as a 9 as well. That's right up there with the Tanya Harding thing.
It was a big deal. This one though, I do know there was jokes, man. I remember Saturday Night Live was doing it. I remember Dana Carvey or something.
Because it's not about our country.
No, it's not about our country, so we'll make fun of it. It's changed now. We make fun of ourselves, and that's the thing, is that always this rivalry with Russia politically, it just enhanced it even more.
Yeah.
So the other thing, I remember Saturday Night Live doing a skit, and it had Dana Carvey, and they decided to have the all-steroid games or something like that. All-steroid Olympics. It showed Dana Carvey lifting supposed to be lifting like 1,000 pounds, and he lifted it and ripped his arms off.
This is going to go off on a tangent, but it's kind of like, you have all these transgender, and you do you, boo. I do not care if you want to be a woman and you go get sexually changed, or I don't care. But I draw the line at competing with the different sex because of the biological makeup of men and female.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to go start your own games, have at it. We have Special Olympics. If you want to go do something like that and you can get the funding and you can come up with the money to do that, have at it. Go compete against each other. I don't care. But it's the same idea. Like, that comedy of, well, we're going to have the steroid games. Well, if you want to go do that, if you want to beat each other up on enhancers, have at it.
Yeah. So,
but don't involve everybody else in your BS.
So I gave it an 8. Would you give it?
9.
You gave it a 9. Okay. So we're right on there. All right. We got 3 more left. All right. Another betting one, this time in basketball. This was a referee.
That looks bad.
Tim Donahue.
You got a lot of
Tim Donahue, NBA referee betting scandal. Okay. So referee Tim Donahue, he had been around forever.
I don't know anything about
it. bet on games he officiated influenced calls to benefit gamblers. Fans question whether the NBA's outcome could be trusted. Some still believe certain playoff series were manipulated. So he was like doing big, high profile games.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. So again, you get the integrity of the game that gets. So now this is 2007. So you already had other betting scandals.
I
And so
think,
now it's even more
yeah.
that now you get this
I'm
conspiracy.
surprised I never heard of this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you follow NBA basketball, but
No, not really.
I remember it.
Bunch of prima donnas.
Anyways, for me, it was. I look at it because I was a Trailblazer fan, and I'm thinking, God, but back in the '90s, when they were really good, it's like, did any games he
Yeah.
do ever,
The entire
And
integrity of the entire sporting
so
world in
again,
that is
gambling comes in and
affected.
is affecting games, and so I'm kind of wondering if ChatGPT did this just because of what's going on right now with
Why they pick so many of the gambling ones.
the gambling ones, because there's other ones obviously then. So what would you rank that one?
Okay, as a player, you have control over what you do, but depending on the sport, there's 4 other, 9 other, 10 other people on the field, okay? And yeah, you have some control over certain things, but you don't have control over what everybody else is doing. And you can try to be like, hey, I'm going to make sure I do this or don't do this to affect something. But bottom line, you're one of, like I said, a handful of other people out there who are not making those choices. As a referee, dang, that's a solid 9. I'm sorry, because you have so much control over everybody. You can call fouls on people. You can put them on the bench. You can,
you can foul somebody out of the game, or not call a foul, or whatever. So
you can get people hurt. You can holy crap, you can affect everybody on that court or that field. That's a bigger event.
And to kind of go not on this one with this, but there's apparently, and I would have to look into it. Boise State last week got throttled by Fresno State.
Okay.
Football game
happens.
It happens. They lost. However, there's stuff going on, and this is what's crazy about social media, because you don't know what's true or not.
Well,
there's something, and I've seen it on multiple things, but I haven't seen anything brought up through like ESPN or thing that there's supposedly there was the ref was getting paid to call the game differently, which I don't know. And anything I look at social media, I take it with a grain of salt, because it's like, until I see
you
like
have to, because
ESPN or NBC Sports or somebody should come out and say, hey, this game was under investigation. I am not going to take what
Joe Blow
or whatever's saying, because
and people, that is okay. And I do use some social media. I'm not involved in a lot of it just because it's a time suck. But a big part of that is because you have so much power with what you say.
Yep.
And for what?
Yeah.
You're just
there's a lot of stuff that gets put out there that's absolutely not true.
It's garbage.
I've seen stuff like, and some of it seems, and it's just like AI being used and stuff like that for things now, and it's getting ridiculous. But
anyways,
but like, just to go off on the social media aspect of it. So there was something came up about Colston, and he had donated his bonus to some charity for the homeless, or it was something that it was a feel good story, right? And so it would be something very believable, right? Oh yeah, that's really cool. But then to come to find out, and I remember his mom posted some, that didn't happen. So you always have, but that's the thing. It's like, you have all these different social media, and they tie themselves to supposedly to the team, all this other stuff. Would be Chicago Bear news, da da da. This
you can say anything you want,
and the thing is, it's like, it's not slandering that person in a negative point, but it's still slander. You're still saying something that's not true.
Yeah.
So,
for whatever you're trying to gain from it. Nobody does anything without trying to gain something.
Well, a lot of times this is like clickbait and get viruses and get you into other crap.
Exactly.
So that's the unfortunate part of this. It's just like there was some accident that happened, or Ray.
I saw that.
And then somebody's posting, hey, we have pictures of this, and it's from people that aren't even from this area. They're not. It's like, my name is Ahmed Allen, or it's like Alan Allen, or my name. It's some random name that's like, you're not a real person. Click on this if you want to see the accident. And it's like,
That's messed up.
But there's people like
somebody
that.
died.
Well, yeah, or even if they didn't die, somebody got hurt. So, right, referee betting again.
Again?
What'd you score? No, I'm sorry. I just didn't know score from the.
I thought I said.
Oh, I don't know.
I said 9 because he has so much control over.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not a player.
Yeah, I had a 9 too. All right. So this one, this is a serious topic out of, I think, all of them.
Am I going to know what this is?
Probably not, but
okay.
You might. Penn State, Joe Paterno scandal. Joe Paterno coached.
Is this the sexual assault one?
This is the child molestation.
Yes.
So Joe Paterno. So Joe Paterno, was this iconic coach for 30, 40 years. Yeah. Like most wins ever by a college coach. Legendary in the game of coaching. There's a scandal. This guy, I mean, they even made a statue of him.
Right.
Because what he did for the school. Jerry Sandusky, who was an assistant coach at the university, led to accusations of him doing some inappropriate sexual stuff.
Of Sandusky doing that?
Sandusky doing it. So the assistant coach and Paterno not failing to report it.
Okay.
So
what was found?
It says Joe Paterno and university leaders were accused of failing to act.
Okay.
They had his wins all vacated, but later on they were restored. And Penn State itself had to face sanctions at the school. So again, this is just absolutely no brainer. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care. There is nothing values when you take away the innocence of a kid.
That's exactly
or any assault, especially sexual.
I don't care what kind of assault it is.
Yeah, I don't care what assault is, but especially with when it comes to kids. And
I'm a firm believer that anybody who takes away the innocence of a child or harms a child intentionally, there's a special place in hell for you.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that it's.
And if you knew about it and you didn't do anything about it, you're guilty too.
Yeah,
you're just the same.
Yeah, I agree. So that was a 10.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
No questions. That was a 10. There's nothing that can beat that.
You can't. Yeah.
All right. Last one.
Okay.
This one you might not know much about because neither one of us really followed golf that much.
Okay.
But the second Happy Gilmore movie was kind of a stab or towards this type of golf. So it's called LIV Golf.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. And so Saudi Arabia, there's
quiet on the green.
Yeah, it's like more rooting and hollering. So it's Saudi funded, and they put up big money to lure major golfers with these huge contracts away from the PGA.
Okay. Saudi
Arabia is not known to be like human rights friendly, and that's a whole other topic. I'm not going to get into the politics of that, but it came down to some of these players that are like, I could go make
3 times what I'm making,
twice or 3 times much over here with
plus
these contracts.
Bonuses plus whatever.
Yeah. So that came into play, and so
nothing is free.
Yeah, and so basically it lured major golfers with these huge contracts, challenging the PGA Tour. Critics accused Saudi Arabia of sports washing, human rights issues. Eventually, the PGA and the LIV announced a merger framework, surprising players and fans. So they did work something out. So this all comes down to the power of money.
Yeah.
Really. And it kind of changes golf and athletic financial empowerment, I guess, for athletes. And LIV Golf, like we've said, it's more cheering and stuff like that. More. And I get it. I mean, I think it's trying to bring in more views. We're watching golf, and I can't watch golf. One of the few times I play golf, I enjoyed playing it, but I can't. And I can admire the people who do the game because
it's not athletic talent.
It's talent. And so, but I can't sit and watch it.
It's not something.
It's not something I can do. It's not something I can go watch on TV. It's one of the few sports that I really can't watch.
But
I have a hard time watching.
I think if you think about, I mean, what little bit I know about the origins of golf, and that it was a high society type game when it started. If you weren't in a specific class or in an elite group, then it was kind of not something you had access to.
Well, yeah.
So I think that as time progresses and as it becomes more of a universal type sport. Men, women,
Yeah.
all classes, whatever. If you're talented, you're talented. I think just like anything else, it progresses with time and age and society. So I don't see anything wrong with having some cheering going on the sidelines. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But I kind of get hung up a little bit on the came up with a way to combine things when what was going on in Saudi sounds a little.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not getting into the politics of it.
No.
That's a
So
whole
I
other
don't know.
story. But
I would say 4.
4, yeah.
I don't know enough about it.
I give
Don't
it a
really care.
6. It's kind of there's a little bit of the traditionalist part of this that
Yes,
I'm
but
kind of part
everything
of
changes.
because
We'd
I
still
think
be
of
wearing
something
leather
that
helmets.
well, I understand. But I want to take for one instance where they had the it's a competition between the U.S. team of golfers, pro golfers versus I don't know if it's English or the Ryder's Cup, I think is what it calls them.
Okay.
So it was in the U.S. and apparently there was a Roy McIlroy or something like that, one of the main golfers. He got hazed, like there was threats towards his wife. It was like awful. Like the fans were being absolute asses, and it was just like it was disgusting.
Not to make light of that, because that's not a light subject. I think that happens more than you think it does in a lot of different sports and a lot of different areas of life.
Well, it does, but in a sport like this where it was
It's
like
not right regardless.
you're told to be quiet
Yes.
during. I mean, they had rules like you can't be, and that wasn't happening. And so in that part, I'm kind of like, that's being disrespectful towards the game.
Okay,
There are games that you cheer at and you raise heck and all this other stuff. You know, football, basketball.
If you have to be like that, go watch a football game.
Yeah. Don't be going hooting and hollering and
right.
I just
disrespecting them.
I think it kind of
that.
disrespects it. So that's kind of why I had.
But if they made the cultural decision to make changes, that's whatever.
All right. So we are going to move on to the next part. You're in charge of this one.
Oh, I'm ready.
You're ready. And what are we doing? Tell me.
Quizzing you on sports trivia. And I tried to go a little more obscure because you always make me mad because you get them all. You get them all. Right. But I didn't go like, I don't think I'm off in the left foot. I don't know. We'll see. You're probably going to make me mad anyways. Okay. So there's 5 questions and then there's a bonus question. Okay. Question number 1. And we've watched this, kind of a take on it in Brave. Kind of. Okay. What are the 2 components of the biathlon?
Biathlon?
Yes.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh.
It's a winter.
Oh, it's shooting and cross-country skiing. Yeah.
I maybe gave you too many hints.
Well, I was thinking, I was trying to think where you do two events, and it was coming to mind, but I probably would have asked you if it was a winter one. So I don't know. So yeah. Okay.
It's cross-country skiing and rifle shooting, and I've actually seen. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2. Which country is the hub of Formula One racing?
Country is the hub.
The hub.
It's not the United States.
No.
Gosh, country? We're going country. I'm going to say Italy.
No.
France?
No.
Oh, man. What is it? I don't
United Kingdom.
Really?
Yeah.
For Formula One?
Yeah, that's what it says.
I honestly, for Formula One, I didn't think it was the UK. I don't know why. I don't look at UK.
That's because you're basing it off of Ricky Bobby and he's a little French dude.
No, but I know the Italians do really well in Formula One. Bobby. No, I UK.
I'm curious if Landon would know that.
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Question number 3. Now green, what color was the tennis ball originally?
Boy. Originally?
It makes sense that they would change it. Where do they play on clay?
So brown?
Yeah.
Yellow?
It's kind of a yellow now. It's
kind of
green.
It's green.
What was it originally?
White?
Yes.
Oh.
Because if you think about it, if it's hitting that gray, it's red.
No, yeah. Well, when you said clay, I was wondering if it was like a brownish.
Like the color of clay.
Yeah. All right. So
no, it was originally white.
Okay, so I'm 1 for 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question number 4. What is the oldest team sport in North America?
Oldest team sport in North America.
America.
You're talking Mexico.
Well, you got to think like, I kind of, my head kind of went to like Native American type tribal kind of stuff.
Is that my hint?
Yeah. It's, I mean.
Because I can think of the one that the Aztecs did where kicking heads or something.
That's when there's no hoops and
balls or hoops or whatever.
heads.
The losing team got killed or something.
Yeah. Wait, it's around here, but only in clubs. It's not in. I don't think it's in any schools.
It's around here. It's not a sanctioned high school sport.
I don't think so. Not here, anyways. I know it is in other states. I don't.
This is the oldest one in North America.
Yeah.
Man.
It's played in a. Take a guess.
Field hockey.
Lacrosse.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'll give you half a point.
All right.
All right. Question number 5. What NFL player has the most Super Bowl rings with 7?
Tom Brady.
Yep. I was like, after we talked about it, I was like, damn it. All right, here's your bonus question. Okay, you have 2.5 points.
How much is this one worth?
I'll give you 2 points.
Oh, okay.
You can redeem yourself. What are the positions of a Quidditch team?
All right.
And I don't need to know how many players play each position.
Okay.
Just tell me the position.
Keeper. Beater.
Yep.
Seeker.
Yep. There's one more.
There's one more. Seeker. I know there's like a bludger. It's not bludger.
Those are beaters.
Those are the beaters. They hit the bludger or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So you got your keeper. You got your seeker. Harry Potter is the seeker. You have your beaters.
What's the other one? There's 2 beaters, by the way, and there's 3 of this other one. It's your defense.
Yes. Yeah. God, I don't know.
Chasers.
That's what
There
it
you
was.
go. You only got 3.5. You failed.
Darn it. Okay. All right. Last segment. You ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. I am taking you to Carbondale, Colorado. Roaring Fork Valley near Aspen, Colorado.
Okay.
Okay. Carbondale.
Okay. Like carbon, like
carbon, like the
coal.
atom. Carbon dating, carbon atom.
Okay. Mineral.
Yep. All right. Carbondale, Colorado. Okay. Independent boarding school.
Okay.
High school, 912. Enrollment is around 165 to 177 students. It's about a 300 plus acre campus on the base of Mount Seppurus.
They got a frigging ski.
Well, Mount Seppurus. It's so S-O-P-R.
Why is it 300?
300 acres.
That's huge.
It is, but it's
for a high school.
It's a boarding school. 165 to 177 students. So nothing.
No, that's like the size of the schools we teach in.
So
300 acres.
Yep.
Is it like in the mountains?
It's on the base of this mountain. It's called Mount Seppurus. It's Sopris.
Okay.
Okay. It's about just under 14,000 feet, I think. It's a big mountain. Okay. I will give you a little bit of snapshot of the town.
Okay.
6,800 people. Region of the Roaring Fork Valley, 30 miles from Aspen.
How is it a boarding school if you've got that many people in town?
Well, I'm sure they have another school.
So this is like maybe like a charter private type school. That makes more sense.
Mount Seppurus views are iconic peak, ranching routes, artist community, mountain biking, skiing, fly fishing, river life, downtown food scene. It's economics. It's 30 to 40% above the national average for cost of living. Your rent can be anywhere from $2,100 to $2,300 for most apartments.
If it's near Aspen, that makes sense.
It's a
tourist
place. Housing, transportation, mountain town, demand. That's the drivers. You have to basically be making lots of money to even think about living here.
All right.
I think. All right. Only in Colorado, this mascot gets fried.
It gets fried? Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yep.
You guys are the ball bowls, the ball testicles.
We are. So we are going to be talking about the CRMS, the Colorado Rocky Mountain School.
Makes sense. Colorado Rocky Mountain
School. It's on a historical Colorado ranch.
Okay.
Real cattle, real ranch life. Back in the early day, they served Rocky Mountain oysters.
I've had those. Have you?
Fried calf fries? No. I don't think I could ever make myself eat them. I like to try stuff.
I was like early teenagers.
I don't know. Did they taste like oysters?
I don't remember. I ate them.
So the boys' teams are
deep fried. It wasn't like you were.
No, I understand.
It's not like they were chewy or something.
Yeah, I know, but
like you would imagine.
Just the thought.
On a texacle.
Thoughts of eating those. All right, boys' teams are the oysters. The girls are called the pearls.
Oh, dear God.
Yep. Even though it's not even a real oyster. To me, if you're getting a pearl off of a Rocky Mountain oyster, that thing probably had a cancer. It's the tumor on its nuts. All right. So, anyways, it's one of the most iconic only in Colorado mascot, part ranch tradition, part student humor, and 100% unforgettable tagline. built on the mountains of grit and a sense of humor, renowned for their STEM program.
So they're like a
IHU.
private.
Yeah. It's basically a college prep
Yeah.
type program school.
Huh.
Competitive rock climbing.
I kind of want a t-shirt.
I do too. Competitive rock climbing. They're known for.
Oh.
So they do rock climbing, and also they have a very strong cross country team, which makes sense if you're able to train up in the high elevation like
At
that.
14,000 feet.
Outdoor leadership
Like right on
emphasis
Mars.
is on expeditions, river trips, and mountaineering.
300 acres is quite a bit. I mean, it's not.
They have a lot of.
It's not crazy, but on the side of the hill like that, you probably got creeks and ponds.
Oh, you
and
probably got all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
It's an alternative education.
Gotcha.
Type of school.
So they charge you a lot of money to send your kids there, and you specialize in certain things.
So it sounds like their STEM program.
I like it.
Rocky Mountain oysters, ladies and gentlemen.
And the pearls.
And the pearls.
So gross.
Oysters and pearls.
I don't know why the pearls bothers me way more.
So, all right. I want to thank the coach's wife for joining me today. Love to have you guys like us on YouTube or share us, whatever you can do. I will actually post this Google Sheet on our website, our Book Buzz website, Buzzsprout website. So if anybody wants to go and rate those top 10, I would like to see other people's thoughts.
That's cool. They could put like a rank and then just a short sentence why.
Yep.
Cool. Yep. That's cool. I'm
you
curious.
There'll be a spot there for a little hot take on each one while you ranked it the way you did.
Cool.
All right. I want to thank everybody. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Got him.